Leavitt. I'm an author and a psychotherapist, and I just wrote a new book called America in Therapy. And here are my 5 steps to offer you as ways that we can all contribute to putting the United back in the United States. The first step is to know that safe people are what make us safe. The divisiveness in our country today is conditioning many of us to believe that we have to protect and defend against other people, that they are the problem. And when we employ our defenses, whether they're guns or bombs, or whether there are psychological defenses of hatred and walling ourselves off from other people or ostracizing them or even attacking them, we're just inspiring more of what makes us unsafe, because people who are left out of our society or blamed for all of our problems will defend in their own ways. So how can we become those safe people for others that we want for ourselves? The question is not, how can I defend against you best? The question is, how can I help you? How can I be safe for you? How can I understand you and what you need that will help bring us to the table together to communicate and to enter each other's world so that we can peacefully coexist? The second step is related. The second step is that we must learn nonviolent communication and conflict resolution skills, because that's how we come to the table to actually work things out. We have to leave our weapons, whether they're actual weapons or our psychological weapons, at the door and learn to restrain ourselves exactly the way we would want others to restrain themselves when they disagree with us. That we would want them to actually want to make peace with us and work something out with us. So nonviolent communication and conflict resolution skills for ourselves, in our homes, as individuals and families in our communities, and what we ask of our leaders are essential to healing the divides in America and bringing us back from the ledge of so much hostility and the violence that it generates. And we can all learn to do this. And the beauty of the best nonviolent communication and conflict resolution skills is this, that those who have felt entitled to be overempowered have to find a way to sit as equals at the table if they really want to employ those skills. And listen, those who have really tried to dominate are then in a position where they can't divide and conquer, where they really need to come to the table and listen to others. And those who have been suppressed, who have not found a safe way to have a voice, now have a safe place to have their voice at the table. So it levels the playing field, and that's what we need. The third step is to rework our relationship to power. We've been living in a power over model of relationship. Somebody wins and somebody has to lose. This is a might makes right kind of model of human relations. And we know in our homes, in our offices, in our schools, that that kind of dynamic breeds rebellion, it breeds suppression, it breeds depression, it breeds acting out. And what if we actually embrace the idea that we could create a win-win model of human relations in our homes, in our communities, and in our country? And a win-win model means this: we don't necessarily win the argument, but we win the relationship. And in the world we live in today, we can't afford to lose more relationship with one another, because when we lose a relationship, we lose caring for our impact on others, and they lose their caring for their impact on us. And that feeds divisiveness and violence and a feeling of entitlement to overpower and suppress and take from others or even kill them if we don't like what they stand for or what they want. So we're looking for a win-win model of human relations, and that's based on the first 2 steps: becoming those safe people ourselves and committing to nonviolence in our communication and in our actions. The 4th step is to understand deeply that we are all dependent on one another. We need each other for our survival. And I think in this culture where we are conditioned to believe that independence is a sign of strength, is a sign of success, and that we shouldn't be needy and we shouldn't need each other, this is actually not a good sign for mental health. In a mentally healthy person or community, we understand that we do best when we are in cooperation and communication and connection with each other, that not any one of us can do it alone or should do it alone, that we need each other to survive here. And even those of us who have been self-made people, we need to understand that we depend on the people who pave our roads, who grow and deliver our food, who make our computers and our phones, who can operate on our hearts if we need open heart surgery. We need every single person to have the successes that we need. And when we can embrace that kind of dependency and interdependence and be that kind of person ourselves who is safe to be relied upon, then the impulse to feed our divides diminishes and can even disappear. If I need you and you and you for my very livelihood, and you need me just as much as I need you, wouldn't we want to care for each other, to listen to each other's needs, and to be safe for one another, and close the gaps that we have been conditioned to feed and that divide us? The fifth and last step is something that I've just recently been thinking about myself, and that is, can we dream bigger? Can you dream bigger? Can you take on something in service of healing the divides in America and bringing us back into unity, whether it's in your home, your school, your business, your church, your community, your state, or your federal government? Can you dream a little bigger of something that you maybe thought you could never do, but in your heart you know you would love to do, to create more unity, more cooperation, more care for one another, more interconnection, and more working together for peace rather than divisiveness? There's a wonderful man named Father Boyle who runs Homeboy Industries, which is a huge service industry for people who are leaving gangs. And he's had enormous success because he treats people with love and kindness, and he gives them opportunity rather than targeting them for what they may or may not have done. He said this wonderful thing that really inspires me, and it's this. He said, "We dream of a world without prisons, and then we build that world. We build that world because we've dreamed it." And what I would add to that is, we dream of a United States that's not divided, a United States that comes together in kindness, in love, in cooperation, in respect for one another, in safety and in peace. And then we build that world. We dream of a world without war, and then we build that world. And if we dream it, we can build it. We've dreamed so many things. Who thought we could fly airplanes at one point, or fly to the moon, or do open heart surgery, or replace an organ, or talk on the phone and see the other person on the end of it? These are things that people have dreamed and brought into reality. And if we dream peace, and we dream union, and we dream togetherness, we can build that too. So I just ask you to think what part you would like to play. And could you play just a little bigger part than you ever imagined?